Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Uh Normal stream here, nothing crazy going on. Um just had some extra time, thought I would jump on and say hello for however long that is. Um yeah, just a slow Monday here. In Virginia. Just yeah, slow night. So um not much going on here. Again, just hanging out, you know, killing the midnight hours at 7:30. Um, yeah, hope everybody is doing okay. And yeah, there might be some conversation. There might not be, depending on who jumps into the chat. Um, yeah. Yeah, just kind of killing time. Again, nothing going on. Anyway, that's all there is to that. Just again, killing time. Yeah. If you're in the chat, if you're in the back room, say hello. Yeah. Some people are hopping in and out, it looks like. Yeah, just giving it a few. Hopefully people jump in. Few new releases being announced that I am quite excited about. Yeah, never knew that they were coming out until today. But let me see. Just want to check something to see if all is good. Yeah, if anybody is out there, let me know. Yeah, again, nothing planned to talk about tonight. just seeing who's out there on a Monday. Yeah, had some fun videos throughout the last week. I did my Van Morrison series and recorded a video today talking about my 10 favorite guitar players. I've got a video coming out soon with Glenn Kellaway that we recorded today. And yeah, just very excited for that and all sorts of stuff that might be coming out. Yeah, hopefully some people will jump on. Yeah, it's hard to say. Seems like it's a fairly quiet night here on the YouTube. Yeah, wish I had something to go on with here, but nobody's in the comments. But yeah, ordered a couple of cool things today that I'm excited about. Received a cool piece today. As you can see from last time, I've got actual artwork behind me now. Spent Saturday night hanging a lot of stuff in here in this room. So it's getting closer and closer to being a full-on record room. I'm very excited to see the final product here. But yeah, this is a great room. It's going to be very relaxing down here. Very, very cool. But again, with all the artwork hanging up, I'm very excited about it. Lots of records in here. My CDs are down here. Several instruments. I've got instruments on all 3 floors here. We're in a townhouse. So this is the basement, which is technically level with the backyard. And I have my banjos down here, a cajon, my mandolin, which is right over here. And on the main floor, I have my 2 main guitars that I'll play. And then on the top floor in the office is where I have, ukulele is my ukulele bass, a couple of other guitars, some other stuff that I don't play as much. I'm trying to figure out what I want down here versus the rest of the house. Just with, humidity and being downstairs where there's not really AC. Like right now, there's no fan down here. I've got like a tower fan, which is what's going to have to do me for now. But hopefully installing some sort of a better cooling system down here, getting a couple of fans, whatever that might be. But I see a few people are on, so thank you. Welcome to a Monday night free-for-all. Nothing going on. But yeah. I think everything's working. I'm guessing you can hear me okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've checked on my end on my phone with YouTube up and at 'em, and I'm just going to see if the chat's working. Yep, there we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, hope everybody's doing okay. Again, a couple of cool releases that I saw announced today or that I noticed today. I see that Brian Wilson live at the Roxy is going to be reissued as. Oh, hey Richard, do you want to come up? Let me know. Yeah, live at the Roxy is coming out, which is a long out of print CD/record. And I'm very excited for that. I ordered it. And yeah, it's remastered, 3 vinyl sets. I think a top lid to, you lift up there. It's not a regular box set. And then it's not really a traditional box set in that it's the original album just on 3 pieces of wax, and I think maybe 2 bonus tracks. And then there's also a 2 CD set from what I saw. But I think Amoeba Records posted it. And yeah, want to get that on vinyl for sure. I'm a completist with Brian Wilson. I just recently got it on CD this year through Discogs. So I'm excited to have it on vinyl. Hello, Brinley. I guess I should show the chat. There's Richard. Everybody subscribe to Richard, as in the 3 of you that are watching, the 2 of you that aren't Richard. And there's Brinley. I just had mine. I made salmon, and it was tasty. But yeah, very excited for the Brian Wilson CD vinyl. Didn't realize it was a thing coming out. I had no idea. And yeah, ordered that this evening, as well as Tone Poet, which I don't know that I've ever ordered a Tone Poet new. I've always gotten it like later. Yeah, it's cool. It looks like a different piece of artwork on the box set, so very exciting for that. But yeah, the other thing is Tone Poet is reissuing Frank Sinatra's "In the Wee Small Hours," which I am very excited about. And yeah, it's like, all analog. Where did it go? I'm looking now. Yeah, so it's on Blue Note Records. Reissued in AAA 180 gram deluxe gatefold on Tone Poet on November the 14th for the album's 70th anniversary. The melancholy masterpiece of lost love and heartbreak was a pivotal album in the legendary vocalist's career, embodying Sinatra's artistic growth into a more mature singing style with stunning renditions of great American songbook standards, given sublime arrangements by Nelson Riddle. Produced for release by Joe Harley, the new Tone Poet vinyl edition was mastered by Kevin Gray from the original analog master tapes, pressed on 180 gram vinyl at RTI, and comes packaged in a deluxe gatefold tip-on jacket featuring session photos by William Claxton and Ken Veeder, as well as an essay by Rita Kerwin. So I am very excited for that. I've never owned that on vinyl. I've always looked for a good copy of that right there. So very excited for that. Let me know if you all had heard of that coming out. Due out in November. I think that's what I saw too. It's just a different like live photo of him sitting or something at the Roxy. So I've ordered both of those this evening, and it's never ending, isn't it? And I know that the more recent Beach Boys box set is supposed to be coming out at some point. It's still not announced yet. I really wish it would be. I wish that it would just become announced. So yeah, looking forward to that. Let's see. Yeah, what's everybody got going on? Yeah, like I said, I did a video today with Glenn Kellaway from the basement, and I'm very excited for that. It's going to come out at some point later this week. Again, I released a video today, top 10 guitarists, and have a box, a CT, a VCLT that I received from Allen C Records that I have yet to post. I need to go ahead and get that figured out. I wanted to do that Van Morrison week last week and did not have the time to fit it in. I mean, it's what you expect from those kind of things. I mean, acoustic sounds, all that stuff, like $38. That's what it is. And I had $2.50 in rewards, so I used that. So I dropped it to 36, but shipping was, unreal. So it was like $47. So that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Yeah, I was very excited to see it. That's one that I've wanted. I've got several Sinatra on vinyl. Yes, at least it's not UHQR. I was just on Steve Westman's stream, who is the king of audiophile content, and we were talking about the Tom Petty Wildflowers one step, which is like $125, and it's really something to hear. Steve, who is pretty much saying, if you've got the 2020 reissue, this is not going to be much better. So, you might as well get the 2020. And my system is not good enough, to pick up, an extra, $80 more for a one-step Wildflowers. I mean, it'd be great to have. I would love to have it. If anybody's wanted to give it to me, please let me know. But yeah, I can't warrant with my system to get it for $125. I can't do it. And that seems to be the case with a lot of people, in the audiophile world. It's like, I really want this, but it's $80 more than a reissue that came out 5 years prior. Is it worth that extra $80? And yeah, kind of like what we were saying is like, take away some of that packaging and make it a $60 record. That would be something I'm willing to, like, okay, I could go for that, to quote Hall & Oates to an extent. Yeah, just the idea of $125 for a double record that is almost as good as a $35 version from 2020. I don't know. It's, I've seen people A/B these things. I've seen, people do it with the MoFis. I've seen the UHQRs. I've never seen one of those A/B reviews where I'm like, ooh, that's that much better. I'm going to have to get it. Again, maybe if I had a super nice, $3,000, $4,000 system in a room that had, the right, padding on the walls and, all that stuff, maybe I'd be willing to do it, but I'm not willing to do it for 125. But yeah. So anyway, I'm excited for the Sinatra UHQR. I'm excited for the Brian Wilson reissue. Yeah, Jason, if I were to listen to you every time you told me to spend money, I would probably not be on a stream because I wouldn't have money to pay for internet. Jason's out there, eating tree bark to save money or whatever you do out there, Jason. Yeah, and again, what's the whole, what do we consider audiophile, right? You have your MoFis, you have your HQRs, you have your one steps, blah blah, but then you also have, the high fidelities. I would consider those audiophile. I would consider the reserves by Rhino. I would consider, a lot of those tone poets and the Verve acoustic sounds. I would consider a lot of those to be audiophile because they are, high quality. And I've got plenty of them, but I don't see the need to buy MoFis and UHQRs. Yeah, Jason, you sound like a broken record. Am I right? It does, and up there in Canada, it's tariff-free tree bark. Yeah, just put some mayonnaise on it, Jason, and put it with your eggs. But no, it's interesting. My collection is pretty well curated for me. And I've already gotten rid of a lot of my filler. And it's hard, right? Because I have, these storage shelves, but I don't have 100 records in the shelves that I want to get rid of. Some of these people, they'll go out and buy, $61 records, Alex. Yeah. And, my stuff is, a lot of it is new vinyl. I've got a lot of, original pressings of stuff, but, if you were to look at my collection right now, you're probably looking at, 200 records, maybe. And I would say over 60% of those are new vinyl records. And by new, I mean, I got them, they were sealed. Yes, the source material is so important, not to get sappy. Oh. No, Alex has a solid collection. I'm excited to see it in person in November. Well, this would be a Miller Lite that is still left over from our wedding. Just trying to clean out the fridge of the beer that we've been drinking for over 2 months. But, I'm excited to get some fall beers and stuff. I think I'm pushing 3,000 vinyl, 1,300 Cs. Good grief. Yeah. Yeah, Richard, are you somebody that would ever do, do you do a booth, at a brewery? Do you do whatnot? Do you do like a lot of Discogs? Um, have you ever sold in bulk? Like right now, like the guy that I would go to in town here, I've told him, that I'm hoping to bring like 50 records that I have, and they're not going to be great records. But like I've got some like Elvis records that I'm never going to listen to. He doesn't take CDs, but I've definitely got CDs that I can downsize here. Like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, like I've got 56. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14. I'm trying to figure out like a rough estimate here of what I have. Yeah, I've got like 700 CDs, something like that. Almost 800. And they need to go. Yeah, Jason will take them. He's too busy up there spinning Lord Huron all day long. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, because I'm so new in the hobby, like I've only gone to a record store once to, sell records. And it was the normal like $3 bin stuff. Like I had duplicates of like Monkeys albums, John Denver that I had duplicates of, Neil Diamond, a couple classical things, and most of that and like some like really crappy like quality like Simon and Garfunkel. Did I freeze? Yeah, I froze. Let's see here. Let's try this for a second. Yeah, and then like he paid me like $40 and it was ridiculous for like 35, 40 records. And then a bunch of CDs. It was just very, very, very frustrating. Wow, I look dumb. How do I fix this? This is stupid. Yeah, let's just do this. Nobody's on. So it's my voice. What can you do? I'm probably not going to be on too much longer because not getting a huge crowd here, but it's fine. But yeah, so like I don't. There's no other way to really sell the records that I have, other than going to a record store. Yeah, I can't really deal with marketplace or anything like that. It just is not my scene at all. People don't show up. They see the records. They're like, oh, let me, pay $10 less than I originally offered you. Yeah. Jeez, this thing. StreamYard's real annoying in it. Here, let's try this. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'm still here. It's just it's weird. No, it's not. No, it's StreamYard. It's literally StreamYard. For some reason, on this laptop, it does not. It doesn't like it at all. And like whenever like the last few videos that I've done with other people on StreamYard, I've had to use an iPad to make it work. My laptop does not like StreamYard, and I don't get it. It was the same in my apartment, which I was 10 feet, if even, from the router. It's very, very frustrating, especially when I'm interviewing an artist or something and I freeze up. It's the stupid laptop. Buying records is easy. Yes, it is. It's kind of like losing weight. It's the same kind of thing. It's easy to put the weight on, but it's hard to take it off. Yeah, I'm on Chrome as well, Richard, and like it shows, full strong signal. Yeah, it's just a really crappy. Yeah, StreamYard's just crappy on my end. I don't know if it's because I have, like stuff that's already saved on here from like other interviews and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, very, very annoying. I'm trying to figure it out. And like nothing like ever shows up though. It's like, like, oh, here's the fix. Like that's never shown up. But let's see. Let's try this. I wonder. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, this laptop has, music that I've saved. It has on StreamYard, like the interviews that I've saved. I need a external hard drive, I think, and work with that. But anyway, yeah, not much else going on. Again, waiting for those records to be reissued, the Brian Wilson and the Frank Sinatra. Hopefully next week I get my Nick Drake box set. As you know, I'm obsessed with Nick Drake and really, really, really want this box set of The Making of Five Leaves Left, his first record. And I'm really, really wanting some sort of, early pressings of his main three records. If you see one, let me know or tell me while you're there. And depending on the price, I'll Venmo you. Like, I'm dying to have one. And yeah, one of these days, hopefully I'll get one. Not yet. We're figuring that out with, being newlyweds and, just under 2 months of being married. We will eventually have a budget of, mad money and that kind of thing. But right now that's currently not written in stone yet in terms of the numbers, but we will figure out some sort of budget for one another with, again, the mad money. Yeah, those are my grails right now, are at the very least those early 70s pressings of the Nick Drake 3 records. Alan, I was just talking about you. I have yet to make a video for the gift that you gave me because I was doing my Van Morrison week last week and wasn't able to film it. And yeah, I will film it probably, hopefully tomorrow, the package you gave me, but I have not forgotten you. By no means have I forgotten you. But I hope you're well, man. Would love to see another video soon, but it looks like you're busy going to concerts a lot, which is awesome. Yeah, and Richard, we've talked off camera about certain channels on whatnot, and yeah, there's only so much, of Kid Cudi and Tron and Disney, Halloween records that I can see. Only so much. Yeah, I mean, just budget for everything. That would include concerts, instruments, sporting events, whatever we consider to be, fun money. It would all be grouped in the same thing. I wish I had a never-ending stream of revenue to put toward records like we all do. And being a small channel, I'm not getting promos from people. If only I did, then I would, maybe not spend as much on records. But unfortunately, like a lot of people, there's only so much that I can spend on the records. And I'm usually pretty smart. I'm usually pretty smart at what I'm getting and not being stupid with my purchases. Let's see. Yeah. I do wonder how many people in the VC actually have strict record budgets. And this time of year is so hard, right? Because of, Christmas coming in 3 months. And this has been like all the box sets have come, become announced. And it's tough. Yeah, I saw Steve Miller canceled. I know he was concerned about some of the like fires and everything. I saw him back in 2019 in Lynchburg here in Virginia, and Marty Stewart opened for him. It was a fantastic show, albeit one of the hottest shows that I've ever been to. It was like 92, 93 degrees with humidity. I think it was tracking at like being over like 105 or so. No cover. It was outside by the river in a field, pretty much. Great show. Steve sounded great. His voice is one of those that's aged quite well. I wish he would put out another record. He put out those two blues records in like 2010 or so. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, see, that's a good thing, Richard. Again, with everything that goes on, like right now, I've got, my car's at the garage, how to do the inspection, and that's going to be, a nice little chunk of change to put toward the garage this week. Yeah, I know. It's a word that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but a lot of that budget's going to be going toward record stores in Columbus. Yeah, it's just that's the money that he finds in his couch. Yeah, he was great. Obviously there's no original members with him from the Steve Miller Band. He's had some guys that have played with him for 15 odd years or so, but very, very cool show. Hearing him do Space Cowboy, not the Joker, Space Cowboy was great. and doing all the hits. He sounded so good. Don't you love that? I've got like, my wallet, I've got like, a Walmart card, an old Target card that might have like $3 on it. I'm like, yeah, let's see what this can do. Yeah, it's a twisted world, this hobby that we live in. Yeah, I'd like to know about retiring at some point in 30 years. Hopefully I can retire by then. Yep, that's why I bought those. they're right over there. I can see them. Hopefully, my dude, the Frenchman at the record store, will give me 10 a piece. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wish that I could pick 30 records to just boom, they're gone, record store. But I would have to go through every single one, and I don't want to do that. I know Richard is just a young pup. That's called one pint at a good brewery, Richard. Or almost half of a 30-pack of PBR. You can get like 30 PBR here for $19 at the Walmart. Yeah, anybody that wants to be on, private message me. Richard or Alex, if you want to jump on. Although Alex, we've had some bad luck, but I'll leave it at that. Nah, that's any brewery around here. You get one pint, it's $7 or $8. Where was recently? I was somewhere and it was big time. But I want to know, what is your domestic fall brew, Richard and or Alex and or Rob? That's what I'm trying to clear out these wedding beers, because I'm tired of Miller Lite and Blue Moon. I want some Oktoberfest and some stouts. Yeah, it's like the presidency, right, Richard? You turn gray in 4 years. Yeah, I'm actually 65 years old. Nobody knows that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, any beer is fine. There's just something about once you get into late October through February, I don't feel like a Blue Moon. I don't feel like a Miller Lite or a light beer. I want, some of that hibernation weight to add on, with an oatmeal stout, an amber ale or something like that. But anyway, one of these days, Richard, I am going to get out to Denver. I've got a buddy out there who, I think I told you this, he's offered for me to stay there several times. And I think he's like 25 minutes from Red Rocks. So one of these days I'm going to get out there. Yeah, I was in I've been to the UK one time. Actually, that's where I bought my first legal beer. Was in the UK, like at this Polo hotel, and it was like a deal where you could get a pint with a hamburger, and so um, I got the pint with the hamburger. I have no idea what it was. I think it was something light. I had no idea what I was buying, but yeah, bought a few beers in the UK. Yeah, you do drink a lot of porter in the summer. You know, I get it, like but here in Virginia, just the humidity, like it kills me. And I'm like, the last thing I want is to drink, you know, that liquid bread when it's 95 degrees outside. Yeah, yeah. I've only been through Denver once. I've been to Fort Collins for a conference when I was in high school, but that was the one time I've ever been to Colorado. Um, yeah. So again, I'm gonna get out there one day. Um, yeah, I always wish that there was more of a VC presence here in Virginia. I mean, there's nobody that I can think of, not counting like DC, and I don't even know who's in DC. Um, like for meetups, like the closest thing I have back in the day was, Asheville and Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, I just I wish that there was places for VC meetups here in Virginia. John Smith's Virginia boy. Well, kind of. But anyway, let me see here. Yeah, I need to go back to the UK now that I'm actually actually have a palate for beer. That was 10 years ago that I was there. Which is it's crazy. I guess it'll be 10 years in January. Um, sheesh, that's insane. Um, yeah, I definitely want to go back to the UK. Um, and now that I know so many people in the UK through YouTube, that would make it even cooler. I hated being, we were in New York a few weeks ago, and just because it was such a quick trip, not being able to meet up with a lot of the New York VC crew, Rob Obscure Music, um, Tim Allen is up there from the YouTube community. Matthew Street was in New Jersey the day after me because of Oasis, and just not enough time. So I'm really wanting a VC meetup soon because I haven't met that many people in YouTube in person. Glenn Kellaway, obviously, Alex from Beer and Vinyl, Randall Nelson, Tommy from Tommy's Musical Adventures, Beetle Brad, I've met in person. Is that all? I think that's it. I've talked to a lot of people. I've got a lot of people's phone numbers outside of YouTube. I mean, I text JT from JT's Record Room, Rich Strickler, Matthew Street, people on social media. A ton of people there. I talked to Richard. Just so many different people, and it's a good community to be a part of. Christian, what is up? Thank you as always for supporting the channel as well as the Van Morrison week. I've really appreciated all your comments the last week. Finally, one of those videos, the Keep Me Singing video, has gotten over 100 views, thankfully. But yes, for a while, some of that stuff I was struggling. So I'm getting very, very, very close to um, monetizing. I've got about, I say very, very close. I've got like 1,200 more watch hours, um, which has just taken me forever to get to. Um, and yeah, I'm excited for the day that I can hit that. I'm also trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't think it's going to happen. I still need like 300 subscribers, so I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. I might have something blow up that gets me 1,000,000 subscribers. Um, yeah, Rob, you were part of the big one with Mazzy not too long ago, which would have been cool. Um, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you have these hubs, which is interesting. You have the Seattle area, you have Vancouver seems to be the newest hotspot. Um, the Chicago area has a big spot. Um, Ontario and Toronto are big spots right now. There's a solid group in North Carolina. I mean, um, like I said, Tommy's Musical Adventures, Beetle Brad, um, John from the Digital Gramophone, Elliot Cruz, all those guys are down in North Carolina. Um, and then you have like a Boston group with Matthew Street, JC from the flip side. Um, Ohio, you have Alex, you have Gary from Physical Format. Um, just um, so many different people in these hubs, and you would think there would be a larger, like, a Richmond group here in Virginia or a bigger DC group, but the channels that I follow, I don't see that many people. Um, yeah, I mean, I know of a couple, but they're not ones that I'm very close with. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm sure that was fun. Yeah, I mean, there was that UK meetup, and David Atkinson and Rob Walker was there. Headley, I think, was there. Um, which great people to meet. In the UK, I would love to meet. Rob and Adam at What the Gym is over there. Chris Mann is over there. Um, yeah, just tons of people. Rob's over here, being like, not to brag, but we regularly meet up. That's awesome. I wish we had that here in Virginia. I mean, there's nowhere close, especially where I've moved now. I'm 2 hours further north than I was, and 2 hours further um, from the North Carolina state line. Um, but anyway, uh, Richard, let me know if you want to come up. No pressure. Um, I'm surprised I'm holding on to 7 viewers without showing a single record. Um, yeah, that's the other thing that's coming out later this week is the Buckingham Knicks reissue from Rhino. Yeah, I'd go broke for sure, especially with the pound compared to the American dollar. Yeah, I know David was over here. Um, let me see. Yeah, I want the Buckingham Knicks to get here soon. Um, hopefully, it'll get here um, sooner rather than later. Yeah, well, that comes out the 19th. So was that Friday? Um, yeah, can't wait to get that. That sold out fairly quickly. Um, no, I get it. I get it, Richard. Um, I'm just seeing here. Yeah, and we'll see, about the meetup next year because that'll be my anniversary time. And I think Steve told me it was like the 18th or the 20th or something next year, which is right, in the weekend of it'd be my 1 year anniversary at that time. So, I can't make that plan yet. But yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is just the number of people that are in Ontario and Toronto. Excuse me. Oh, you've got Brian, Embryonic Robot, Glenn Kellaway, Larry Graves, Roberts on My Turntable, Rob from Northern Revolutions. It's just like there's a huge group up there. And that's obviously where Mike's wife is from. Is near where Rob lives. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, you would think that I was living somewhere like Iowa or somewhere where like it's flyover country, but there's nobody in Virginia. I'm struggling to find people from YouTube in the Virginia area. Yeah, Detroit as well. I mean, obviously that's where Trevor's from. Jeff Witcher's up there. Hub Tunes is up there. Who else is up there? Like I said, yeah, Gary, Alex, all those people are up in there. Yeah, I would. Jeff Witcher and I talked for a minute about maybe meeting like in Kentucky. So maybe one of these days that'll happen. Steve, he's another one who's up there. But not for long. He'll be in Arizona next year. Little sneak preview. Rob might be at MGK's house in 2026. That's big news. Big news. Yikes. Knuckles are popping. Yeah, lots going on. I'm trying to think. Yeah, excited for Buckingham Nicks later this week. Again, I mentioned the Brian Wilson Live at the Roxy reissue that's coming out in November, as well as In the Wee Small Hours by Frank Sinatra, the AAA by Kevin Gray, through Tone Poet. Nick Drake should be here the 26th. The CD and the vinyl, fingers crossed. Well, the CD for sure. The vinyl will be delivered to my parents' house because my sister ordered it for me for my birthday back in May. And yeah, I just wanted to be sure that it was going to go to the right address. Because it was originally going to be reissued in July and then it got pushed. Trying to think what else is out there. October is coming around the corner. Lots of stuff happening in October, just personal stuff, all good stuff, but busy. And yeah, again, seeing Elvis Costello here in about 3 weeks. Seeing Old Crow Medicine Show later in October. Yeah, Robert Plant is coming to town as well. It's sold out, but I do wonder if a ticket will become available later on. Yeah, to see Colton and him maybe swipe you with his, the shanks on the end of his paws. Do I know? I don't know if I know Biffy. I can make a Biff joke. Death of a Salesman. By that I mean Seinfeld joke. Yeah, C is for Colton. Poor Steve. Poor Colton. Let's see. Yeah, is there anything else that's coming out? The Who box set, I do want to get that at some point, and the Half Speed that's going to be put out by Abbey Road Studios. I have all the other Who half speeds, and I've been waiting for them to do Who Are You? So hopefully, that will sound good. I'm sure it will. All the other ones sound really good. And yeah, maybe the price will go down. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I'm hoping that by the time of its release date that it will be that it will drop a bit in price. But we'll see. I know the Who's Next set from a couple of years ago never really dropped in price. Math Rock, well, divide and conquer, am I right? What else is there? Yeah, like I said, the Beach Boys set, hopefully we'll get it out soon. They keep saying it's going to be this year. The Love You, 15 Big Ones, and Adult Child box set that Al Jardine keeps promoting that is going to come out. And the other thing will be the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle is going to be reissued in mono, cut from the original master tapes, analog. Very exciting to get that. And from what I understand from Colin Blunstone, apparently the other album, Begin Here, is also going to be reissued, as well as another record that they have not announced yet. But he says there are at least 3 Zombies albums being reissued. So I'm curious as to what the third one's going to be, because obviously Odyssey and Oracle is a big one. Begin Here is going to be good. And then I'm sure it's going to be like a singles comp. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about that. I just listened to Led Zeppelin 4 today. First time I listened to it in a year or so, and yeah, that'd be solid. That's the Physical Graffiti EP, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I am probably going to run here. I've got a few things I need to clean up down here to organize the record room a bit more. But thank you all for tuning in. It started very, very slow, and now I've got 10 or 11 people that have jumped in and out. I very much appreciate you watching. It means a lot. Hopefully one of these days, a couple of you will decide to jump on, and that'll be fun. But yeah, thank you, Rob. Always good talking to you. Richard, always a pleasure. Alex was in there. Jason was in there for a bit. Christian, just going back a bit. Brinley, I know, was in there. Alan. Who else was up there? Was there anybody else? Yeah, I don't think anybody else. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch throughout your videos and mine and the comments for sure. Reach out to me anytime. And yeah, look forward to the latest video I've got with Glenn Kellaway coming later this week. We collaborated today. I've got a VCLT video coming up probably tomorrow from Alan C Records that I'm very excited to unbox for you all. And I have an interview that I did last week that I'm waiting for the go-ahead for the posting of that. Until then, I can't announce who it is, but I'm very excited for that interview to eventually come out as well. One of my favorite musicians has a new record coming out. So very excited to release that. Lots of good stuff coming. So that does it for me. As I always say, in the meantime, y'all be good. Take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.